You know you're in New Orleans, even with your eyes closed, because of the people. The soul of New Orleans is inseparable from its people. You can hear the love in their expressions. You can see their skill in the architecture, with carriageways and courtyards that take you back to Spain, and rows of shotgun houses that recall the city's Afro-Caribbean heritage. You can get a taste of their passion in the city's culinary traditions. Boiled crawfish, soft-shell crab, gumbo, stewed greens, bread pudding, and sweet pralines. The city chefs feed more than your appetite. They feed your spirit. And you can feel New Orleans' joys and struggles in the jazz, jump, gospel, and blues that play long into the night. So look around and get to know the places, the flavors, the sounds, and most of all, the people that make New Orleans feel so right. I'm Denella Ri'chard. I've spent the last 20 plus years of my life traveling the world. I've lived as an expat in Europe and worked for world-renowned travel companies. Now, since everything we know about travel has changed, I invite you to come along with me and rediscover the world. This week, I'm in New Orleans. This city is known for places like the French Quarter, Bourbon Street, the Riverwalk, and the Superdome. Now, those are absolutely places you should visit when you're here in the Big Easy. However, there is so much more to be discovered in this diverse, multicultural city. For me, I'm going to venture off into the neighborhoods and get to know the locals. And my first stop is Armstrong Park in Treme. Now, Treme is one of the oldest Black neighborhoods in America, and I'm meeting up with New Orleans native Essence Harris Banks to get some tips on places to go and also businesses to support. Essence Harris Banks, president of Soul of New Orleans.
That's right.
Girl, it is awesome to see you.
Same here. I am so happy that you are in my beautiful city.
Yes,
So
Big
great.
Easy.
That's right.
Yes, and what better place and, a perfect day right here in Armstrong Park in Congo Square.
That's right. Iconic, legendary. I mean, we know all the great history and culture that happened right here in this park. And as you can see, as you walked up, so many visitors are here. Tourists are still in the city. We have locals that really enjoy this space. So I'm so glad that we're here enjoying this beautiful space and the beautiful weather here in New Orleans.
Absolutely. And of course, we're sitting a little distanced here because we're still living in this, what people call the COVID era.
That's right.
But you know what? It doesn't stop us from still getting out and exploring and
Exactly.
seeing amazing places like New Orleans. So tell us, how are you guys dealing with tourism in this COVID era? And, what can we share with our audience if they're wanting to plan a trip to New Orleans right now? What should they know?
So here in New Orleans, we always say we welcome our visitors. We welcome being tourists in your own city. So of course we speak to locals and tourists alike. But of course we are following the state of Louisiana's guidelines around COVID. And so we have been very strict, as you may have heard, about New Orleans, but we just want to make sure that our visitors are safe as well as our residents. And so we make sure that we adhere to the COVID guidelines, but we welcome everyone to come. We have guidelines, of course, in our restaurants, in our bars, in our attractions, and so we do encourage those visitors to come to the city and experience the greatness of New Orleans while practicing social distancing.
Now, Essence, let's talk about some of the well-known tourist attractions in New Orleans. Like, what are some of the top places where all the tourists like to go that are kind of iconic?
So we are in the iconic venue, right? So Armstrong Park, of course, is a great one.
Yeah.
When we think about our food and beverage, so our restaurants, historical restaurants would be Dookie Chase. So really excited about that. Great history, great culture there with Chef Leah Chase, very legendary. Her family is there and has, taken over. The restaurant is doing well. But there's so many others like Ashe Cultural Center, right? When we think about the great culture and history that's here in New Orleans and supporting our culture bearers, right? The great artists. And those visual artists that are here in the city, so that's another one. I mean, I could go on and on about the list of the greatest attractions here in New Orleans.
Right, but I think that's what's so special about your job is that you get the opportunity to really highlight all of the different multicultural venues in this city. So it's getting out beyond the French Quarter, beyond just Bourbon Street and the Riverwalk, and really getting into those neighborhoods like Treme, like you said, where I was today. You know, when I grew up in Baton Rouge, an hour down the road from you, we'd come to New Orleans. Just Louisiana in general was very black and white. But today it is so diverse, so many different people and cultures. Tell me about today's New Orleans.
Yes, it is not the New Orleans of old. It has great history and culture from so many different backgrounds, right? So here in New Orleans, we are now celebrating the African American influences, Caribbean, Haitian, the Hispanic, the Asian cultures all blended together. And so, we like to say we are the gumbo. Right? It takes all of those cultures to make New Orleans naturally New Orleans. So it is really who we are. So when tourists come to the city, they really want to know where do the locals go because they want to experience that flavor, right? So we will send them into the neighborhoods, into Treme, into an area where I am from is the Lower Ninth Ward, right? We like to send them there so they can see some of those inner cities and, really meet with the culture, meet with the people, right? And you go into Central City and Uptown New Orleans and visit Ashe Cultural Center. So much history, so many great artists that have been there that come and share, what they're doing in the communities. The history is phenomenal. So again, New Orleans is just not black or white anymore. It's that huge melting pot of so many different cultures that make us, who we are.
Absolutely. And that's what I love about New Orleans. Like you say, that gumbo. We're all such a mixture of people. It's African, it's French, it's Spanish, and now having the Asian cultures and the Hispanic cultures, it just adds and make it an even better gumbo.
That's right. Truly, it does, right? And so we pride ourselves in really at the Multicultural Tourism Network sharing all the great cultures, right? Making sure when tourists visit the city, they know they can step outside of Canal Street, Bourbon Street, right? And visit our cultures to really see how we live and how we do it in the neighborhoods.
So Essence, tell me why you love your beautiful, amazing city.
I love this city because it has such great, rich history, the culture, the people, the Southern hospitality at its finest. And so when you visit New Orleans, you know you are in the right place.
Absolutely, and I love it because of the Le Bon Temps Roulette.
That's right.
The good times roll, baby. And with that said, Essence, you know what? I'm going to get out here and see some more of this amazing city.
Awesome. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Are you ready for a vacation? For your chance to win a 7-night stay at Couples Resorts Jamaica, go to travelingwithdenella.com right now.
All right, you guys, we're in Treme, and we're about to go into the famous Dookie Chase, but I had to stop by and acknowledge this famous quote by the one and only Leah Chase. To be a woman, you have to look like a girl, act like a lady, think like a man, and work like a dog. All right, here we go, Dookie Chase, baby. Chef Edgar Chase, it is an absolute honor to be here with you at your famous restaurant, Dookie Chase. You know, it is absolutely legendary.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. You know,
Thank you.
as a fellow Louisiana native, you know, you serve all my favorites here. So gumbo,
Yes.
right?
Gumbo, chicken, all the Louisiana seafood that you can imagine. So I'm glad you're here, and we're going to taste some of that a little later on.
So tell me a little bit about the history of Dookie Chase.
Yeah, so we're coming up on 80 years, but Dookie Chase really started in 1941 as a sandwich shop and a bar. Right, started by my great-grandparents, Edgar Dookie Chase Sr. and Emily Tonette Chase. And what they did, they would bring in po' boys, and my grandfather, my great-grandfather, really loved the bar scene. So he would have people come in. He was just a very entertainer, right? But during that time, what was so relevant was we were starting the civil rights era and going through civil rights. So where blacks couldn't come in and cash their checks, or banks wouldn't allow them, we would cash their checks on Friday nights. And then we had an upstairs dining room that the civil rights leaders, Dr. King, as well as his team and other members of the community, white members, were able to meet and strategize, which was illegal at the time. So that really put Dookie Chase on the map in the community, because they know we were for the community. So you fast forward that to my grandparents, Leah Chase, who everyone knows, who really put our restaurant on the map, right? So that transitioned into the dining rooms that we're sitting into today. My grandparents did that, they expanded. And really what she grew up with, working in the French quarters as a little girl, was experiencing these white tablecloth restaurants, but African Americans couldn't go into those. So she said, I have to create something for my people where they can come and dine the same way throughout this whole community. And that's what she did. When you talk about the artwork in this building, same thing. That was always their mindset. How can we promote our culture and let our folks enjoy life just like everybody else did? So when you went into these other restaurants and they had all this art over the world, on their walls, and she wanted to showcase African American artists that same way, so she started collecting. And now, as you can see in the restaurant, we have art all over the place. You know, my grandparents, they played a huge role as far as getting out in the community as well, but they were always humble to say all we had to do was feed the leaders of the movement, right? We housed them, we let them come on in and feed them.
So Chef Edgar, tell us what do we have here?
Yeah, so here's some of the staples we have at Dookie Chase. Of course, our fried chicken. Appetizer we do is oyster norm, and the great thing about this dish is, and when we taste it, you'll see it's oyster two ways. So in that spinach we have garlic, we have onion, we have thyme, cayenne pepper, and we have oysters that we chopped up, and we bake that in that spinach, and then we top it with the fried oyster.
Nice.
Another dish that we do is our Louisiana red fish. That's a coubillon sauce, which is a tomato-based stock with fish stock. And then we have summer squash potatoes, charred corn. And then of course on the end is really what brought us here at the restaurant is our gumbo. And that has chorizo sausage, smoked sausage, chicken, shrimp, crab, veal, you name it. We have it in there with a great roux. It tastes awesome.
Nice. Everything looks delicious.
Thank you. Well, let's start
where
and
do we
have
start?
some. If you want to start with a beginning dish.
This looks delicious. Now I'm gonna try and be cute here, okay? This is delicious, Chef Edgar.
No,
Ooh,
thank you.
the
So
taste. You can taste the garlic in
You
it.
taste the garlic,
seasoning.
you taste the Parmesan
It's such
cheese that we
good
topped
stuff,
it with.
yes.
So it's a great dish to start a meal with. And another dish that we have to taste has to be this chicken.
I'm gonna go for the wing.
Go for it.
All right, all right. Now,
I'll
Edgar,
take
not
this way.
everybody can cook a great fried chicken, but we know you guys are famous.
Look,
the fried chicken.
we had the best showing us the way. So we do have a secret blend and batter that we marinate our chicken in, and then we just hit it in some flour, which gives it this great crunch. And the seasoning is there, so
Nice.
again.
Delicious. All right, ladies, quick tip. Don't come up in here trying to be cute eating Dookie Chase fried chicken, because this is too good. You're going to get your fingers dirty, and you're going to enjoy it. So here we go. I'm digging in.
Right here, this is where the magic happens, right?
Nice.
This is a fried station, a fried chicken station. So we'll go over some fried chicken right here.
All right.
So here's what I talk about. We have our seasonings that we've been marinating this chicken for a while. So with that, you got your salt, your spices, your cayenne pepper, all that in a good little bag.
Now you pull some of the chicken skin back, look like.
Just to work it in there.
All right. Got it.
And crispy, we don't do it. Everything we need is already on this chicken. So
Okay.
it's going right in this flour.
All right.
You see all that
Mix it up.
seasoning under there, mixing it up.
Yeah.
Make sure that's good.
There we go. The flour gives it the crispiness, right?
That's the crispy and the crunch. The
Okay.
flour and that temperature. You color right
That'll
there,
work.
right to the front.
Wow. Now what's you said the ideal temperature? The fried chicken?
This is, you're looking at about 355, 350 is where you want to be here. And like I said, when you're at home, you want to start off at that 375 and then work it on back down.
That'll work.
So this is, you'll let that go for about 15 minutes. Of course, you have it. I'll put this one in a basket because you want to keep, different times I have
Right.
this one in here.
Right.
That's pretty much it. Comes up golden brown, the punch is there. It's been marinating in here for quite some time. All the flavors are there. You just drop it in and send it out to the table and people enjoy it.
There you go. It's absolutely delicious. I know that.
Yeah, well, thank you so much.
Well, Chef Edgar, you're going to make my mama proud now. I know how to fry chicken.
Oh, well, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for coming in.
It's obvious we're sitting several feet apart.
Yes.
Because we are all living through this COVID environment.
Mm-hmm.
So how has it affected your business here?
It's huge, not only in the guidelines that you have to follow in terms of capacity of inviting guests in, but it's, with New Orleans, we're a hospitality city. We love people. We love welcoming you into my home, giving you a hug, saying, how's your family and your kids and all that. And it really pulled back a little bit where you can't do that. I can say hi from a distance in the 6 feet and this, that, and the other, but people still come, and we got to show you that love in a different way. More so on the food, on the plate side, and we smiling through masks and this, that, and the other, but that's where we live, and we'll get back to it. But people, I would still want you to feel the love when you come into Dookie Chase, regardless if I can give you a hug and come visit your table and sit there and have dinner with you, or if we're in the guidelines and the protocols we're in right now.
Time is here now, so come with me. Hey, throw your hand in the air right now. These are the good times. What are you feeling good times? These are the good times. Yo, these are the real good times. Let's make this song real thing. These are the good times. The good times.
Are you ready for a vacation? For your chance to win a 7-night stay at Couples Resorts Jamaica, go to travelingwithdenella.com right now.
So here's a great Bobby Caldwell tune that I love to do. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess you wonder where I've been.
jazz is synonymous with New Orleans. I'm meeting up with jazz singer Stephanie Jordan at the New Orleans Jazz Museum.
When I think about New Orleans, I can't help but think about jazz. And Stephanie Jordan, you are definitely one of the most well-known jazz female singers in this city. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. So tell me a little bit about your background and actually how you got into jazz. And is there a family tie, family connection or anything like that that kind of helped you get?
Absolutely. I was born into jazz. I don't know if I had a choice. Not that my dad pushed it, but I was surrounded by music from the time I was born. My dad, Kid Jordan, is an avant-garde jazz saxophonist, and I have a slew of brothers and sisters. There's 7 of us, and we all played music at one time. But in the performing life, I perform a lot with my brother Kent Jordan, who actually gave me my first break to perform professionally. And my brother Marlon Jordan, who's a trumpeter. Kent's a flutist, Marlon's a trumpet player, and my sister Ri'chard Jordan is a classical violinist. But at one time, all of us, including Paul, Tina, my eldest brother Ed Jr., we all played music. And my mom is a great piano player too.
Wow. Wow, musical talent absolutely runs in the family.
Well, my dad's taught a lot of people. I mean,
Yes.
as an educator, he was able to influence a lot of the musicians that you see out on the scene right now, down to Trombone Shorty. I love Shorty. Whenever I see him, I think about him as a little baby, practically playing that trombone.
Right.
And now he's this wonderful force in the music world. It's good to see the influence that my father could have on even young musicians like Shorty.
Well, thank you so much, Stephanie. This has been an absolute joy and pleasure, and it's amazing how travel, brings people together. One of my favorite sayings is that, with travel, you're usually only 6 degrees apart by way of introduction
Right.
To anyone in the world.
Well, New Orleans is a destination city. It really is. And, we embrace tourists. Of course, it's part of our economic engine that keeps things going. So we're hoping that after this COVID situation is over, and even through this time, that the tourists will begin to return. Yes. We have a lot of great areas where there's lots of live music. Yes. During normal times, but still the architecture, the parks, the street vibe, the galleries are still very much in gear, and the sun is shining.
Yes. In this spirit, we're simply being COVID smart.
That's correct.
But still finding ways to get out and enjoy this amazing, beautiful destination.
Well, New Orleans is my birthplace, and I will always love it. Won't leave. Katrina couldn't move me out of here. So.
Amen. Amen. Well, thank you,
Still
Stephanie.
here. Thank you.
Do for love, do for love, do for love what I would not do for love. Do for love, do for love, do for love. Oh, you made me do for love, do for love, do. The time is here now, so come with me. Hey, throw your hand in the air right now. These are the good times. Hey, what are you feeling good times? These are the good times. Yo, these are the real good times. Let's make this song real thing. These are the good times. Hey, yo, the good times. Hey, these are the good.
Are you ready for a vacation? For your chance to win a 7-night stay at Couples Resorts Jamaica, go to travelingwithdenella.com right now.
Now I'm in Central City, and I'm enjoying just how diverse this city has become. On one side, I have the Ashe Cultural Arts Center, and on the other side, one of the best Mexican restaurants in the city, Casa Borrega. Let's go check it out.
I stopped by Ashe Cultural Arts Center, looking forward to learning more about New Orleans culture and history. At Ashe, I discovered more than information. Ashe is truly a profound testament to the resistance, innovation, and intrinsic power of the cultural traditions that thrive in New Orleans and have prevailed throughout the African diaspora. You'll also discover art, fashion, a community haven, and a great place to host a meeting or event when visiting New Orleans. I'm craving Mexican food. Let's check out Casa Borrega and chat with the owner, Hugo. Hugo's creative design of this restaurant will amaze you. The authentic Mexican decor is just as tantalizing as the food.
I think Mexican food has a great revival. Real, authentic Mexican food. No Tex-Mex, no Cal-Mex. It's happening now. And people have the sophistication to understand those spices, those ingredients, those different ways to cook, you know. I'm very happy. That's why we have customers, and I'm very proud about it. So we are in Norita Casafeli Boulevard, just less than a mile from the Superdome, about 7 blocks from the Superdome, downtown New Orleans, 1719 Norita Casafeli Boulevard, 2 blocks from St. Charles, from the streetcar line, you know, and because it's tu casa.
I've certainly enjoyed my time here in New Orleans. The next time you're in the Big Easy, venture off into the neighborhoods. Get to know the locals. Support the small businesses and organizations that are making a positive impact on the community. I wish we had more time, but for now, I gotta go. But I'll see you same place, same time, next week. And as they say here in New Orleans, laissez les bon temps rouler. Let the good times roll.
The more I travel the world, the more I appreciate how our similarities far exceed our differences. We are all so much the same in the way we laugh, we cry, and the way we love. For each person I can inspire to travel, to experience a different culture and yet appreciate our kinship, we are one step closer to eradicating the ugliness of racism and discrimination, so we can elevate the beauty in discovering our shared humanity.